Welcome, Akasha here, and this is Bliss Life, my Bliss Life show, and today we're doing live soul readings. So as you're entering in from the waiting room, please settle in. Here we've got another guest, and just like you're entering a real temple. So I've created an infinity healing chamber. There's a golden cone of light, the gold ray above and below you. You're wrapped inside of the all-seeing eye and completely encompassed in a sphere of light that we call the Akashic Ascension Sphere. This sphere is made from the flower of life, and it is pure light, pure source, or infinite light. And then we activate or drive this vehicle, this infinity healing chamber that we're in, to the speed of infinity. Infinity is everything. It's also 0 point. So it's like being in a sea of abundance with no pressure. Good. Welcome, everyone. Oh, I'm so pleased you're here. So we're doing live soul readings today. And what that means is I'm going to share a little bit, channel a little bit, and then I'm going to go to those of you who are interested and do some readings. Now, if you're interested, put your name in the chat window and relax, because Spirit is going to choose today who I call on. So let's let go of our three-dimensional conditioned minds and come into infinity. When we let go of the conditioning that we've all had, maybe slightly different by culture or religion or gender, family, location, geography, location, and so on, the truth is that we're all here. Good, we've got a few more people still coming in. That we're all here on the planet at this time for a reason. Your soul chose to be here. That means you. Now, your higher self knows this. And then you have a level of you that's called your I am presence. And that knows even more of the truth. And you have something that represents your physical body called your body elemental. And these three layers of you and your soul council and your unique spirit guides got together before you came into this life. So as a soul, you have many lifetimes. And oh, welcome. We've got a few more people coming in. And as a soul, when you come in, you have a long time, like much more than one life, to do things. And then as a soul, you send parts of you down to create these different life experiences. So the one that you're in now is a really special one. You are incredibly special, incredibly unique. And it's very important you remember that now. I can't be more serious when I say the time is now. There's never been a better time. Whatever cliche you want to hear, it's absolutely vital that we stop playing the game. So the conditioned mind that we all have, and it's not something to be upset about or to blame or to judge, it's to accept and to recognize so that you can begin to say, hey, that's right. I'm this enormous energy being. I'm a piece of source. I'm a reflection and an essence of infinite energy that has come into this moment, that has come in as a soul to many lifetimes to this planet. Our bodies aren't just from the earth. We and the earth, who's in a complete entity of herself and is on her ascension path, we are very connected You could go all the way to we are one, but oftentimes that's hard to imagine when you feel so separate, when you feel alone. And we're in the middle of this pandemic, lockdown, shutdown, transformation, grand reset, grand transformation, all these different things. Yes, cultures have known and prophesized about this very moment for a very long time. Many of us have known that it was coming. Many of us thought it was going to come sooner. But the fact that we have free will, we can come in as a soul with a blueprint. And we can come in with that blueprint is you and this council and all these parts of you. You got together, you said, okay, this time I want to go try this out, or I want to finish this pattern. I want to take all these lifetimes where my throat was cut, I was hung, I was beheaded, I was gagged, I was enslaved, I was imprisoned. So I was in some way not allowed to express. I want to bring in the lives that I felt like I used my power, my voice for good to inspire people, but bad things happen. Like everyone died because I told them to go to battle, or my family was killed because I spoke up and told everybody I was a psychic, and then I was burned as a witch and then they killed my family too. Or there's all of these experiences. We can't deny this history. And whether you want to just think you know about it consciously, or if you actually understand the energy structure of the fact that everything's exist right now. So they're not past lives, they're parallel lives, they're other lives. And there are many of them. And you can tap into any of them when you really get good at unplugging from 3D reality. So, oh, we got another guest. I don't have any help today, so I've got to be the hostess. Good, welcome, welcome everyone. And this beautiful moment that you, your soul, your higher oversoul, this wise and infinite reality of you that exists at a very high state, a very high vibration, this part of you chose to be here right now. And that is profound. That's like a badge of honor. That's like something you should hold your head very, very high and think, wow, I must be kick ass. I must be amazing. I chose to be here. That means I have strength. It means I am ready for change. It means I want to help be a part of a massive change, a massive transformation. I don't want to wait in the wings and then come later and see what was created, because guess what? It's not possible. You can't be in this transformation, or you can't not be in this transformation and then show up later. It doesn't work that way. So what we're looking at today is what I call our soul. And there's soul and there's spirit, and there's a lot of different terms for it. And again, it's really a difference in symbols, semantics, words. But this is the part of you that knows everything about you. So it doesn't require you to go looking for past lives or parallel lives or other lives that are relevant right now, because as when you made your soul blueprint, you did ask. You all together said, all right, we're going to pull these 15 lives over here, all about power and money, and how many blocks and heavy attachments and karmic knots and agreements and beliefs, and these are all energies that sit in your energy field at some place, and they do two things. They attract like a magnet, and they block like a solid wall of granite. And that means they block or hold you back, tie you down, weigh you down, keep you too heavy, which could show up in procrastinating or not being clear or thinking they're not good enough, or continuing to repeat patterns around I'm not enough, or they're not enough, or I have to please other people, or I have to be the caretaker, or I'll get to me later, or whatever it is. So everybody, I've been working with myself and with other people for decades of the deeper energy. So we go out of the story and into the energy, but the energy holds story, because the energy is source, and it's infinite, and it's conscious, and it's information. And so it has codes in it. And so the heavy energies that you carry from these experiences where you decided you were never going to speak up again, because when you did, you got your head chopped off, or all those things we just said, right? And I kind of lump all of those: fear of being ridiculed, fear of being outcast, disowned, fear of not belonging, because we have lived in a culture where many, many, many years ago, if you didn't live with a tribe or a group of people, it was very hard to survive. But we're no longer in that world, and yet we're more enslaved by the patterns of thinking. We have to do what everybody says. We have to do, bunch more people here. Let them in. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming. Good, good. We got a few more people in the room now. Welcome to the Sacred Infinity Healing Chamber. Enter this sacred space with reverence, please, just the way you would enter an incredible temple of light. And we're talking about our soul and what is it and why we're here and why our soul chose to be here right now in this moment and how profound it is. And it doesn't mean like, oh my God, I'm so much better than everyone else, because comparison is 3D. And what we're going to do today, and what you're doing as you enter this chamber, is going out of 3D or out of lower, denser states of consciousness, emotion, experience. And we're moving into infinity. In infinity, there is no distinction between the fifth dimension, the fourth dimension, the eighth dimension, the 13th dimension, the state of, happiness or the state of peace. It's just infinity, right? So it's all there. So when your soul formed and you were a part of deciding what to bring, you chose all other lives that had talents and skills. You chose other lives that had fears and huge wounds with this wounded energy we're talking about. So if you have 15 lives where something happened that you decided at the end of that life, you were not going to use your voice anymore. You were not going to speak up because you got killed, your family got killed, you got your head chopped off, you got disowned, you got whatever, right? And you suffered and you decided something in the moment. This life or any life, your power is so deep that when you have an emotional reaction to something and make a decision in that moment, it becomes an agreement. That's what I call it. Now, a deeper word for those agreements is a vow or a contract. And those feel more serious and more binding. And in some ways, they really do represent the energy better that you hold. So in the soul readings today, let me let one more person in. In the soul readings today, I may see some of these blocks or these attachments or these knots. I may be shown some of your other lives. In these soul readings, I usually scan your light body, and I see different energy patterns, and then I begin to talk to them or tune into them, and they start to reveal information. So when you enter, and welcome everyone who's just come on, you enter into the Infinity Healing Chamber, you need to resonate. You need to begin to let go, to tell yourself, be here now. Turn off the notifications on your phone, shut the door, right? Let the dog go outside, whatever's going to distract you, and just sink into the moment as if you have entered this temple of light and you can't be somewhere else. All right? And then make a decision that you're going to be here, fully present, a clear and open channel for your highest good, and that you are ready and willing, and you're open and receptive to be a clear channel and open a deeper and clearer channel to your higher self and your soul blueprint, to your energy field, to your body elemental, to your soul, to your I am presence, and to your spirit guides. Inside of the Infinity Healing Chamber, we have what I call the Light Body Healing Council. It's a council of master teachers that are not currently in form, in physical form on this planet anyway. And those include, in case you have an affinity for them, you can tune in. And they hold the space. The golden ray is the ray that holds all rays of creation, is forming the golden cone of light above and below you. These energies are all conscious, and so they may be removing or giving things to you. This is a healing chamber. Healing simply means releasing you from these vows and contracts and heavy energies that no longer serve you, the ones that you and your soul council chose when you came in. So like I said, you might have brought 15 lives about power and money, and you might have brought, 5 lives, and it's not the whole life. It's an issue or an agreement or a particular event in that life that is related. So you'll find them. With my private clients, we get to do this one-on-one very deeply, and we'll find a pact that goes back through an ancestry that is extremely energetically, deeply embedded and requires, quite a bit of work to untie and unravel. But it's okay if it takes 3 months to unravel something that's been holding you back for this or many lifetimes. That's not bad. So whatever reading that I give today, everyone will benefit from them. And it will be what is optimal for you at this time. Entering this chamber, all of the counsel and all the conscious energies, the flower of life you might be familiar with, that creates the sphere of light that encompasses us right now, holds all the sacred geometrical shapes that form life. And so like the gold ray, it's like being in the space of the infinite. There's infinite crayons in the box to draw from. There's an infinite number of rays of color and light and consciousness and everything that you need. And the beauty of that is it gives you peace. So you can be in peace right now. Other things that will come up during the readings, maybe things in this life, maybe things about your health or your body, could be about opportunities. So if you request a soul reading, just put your name in the chat window. And I was saying earlier that Spirit is going to guide who I choose. So we're going to let go of our 3D programming but I was first and it's not fair. And we're going to rise out of 3D. So before we begin, I'm going to take us on a little bit of an inner journey so that we can all become present and connect to our souls, to connect to our higher self and our I am presence and our body elemental, which usually for me lately, energetically with my clients, my students, and for me, they've been entering and forming a triangle around me. So standing on either side of me, a little bit behind, and then directly in front of me, and connecting triangle, triad, pyramid, or all the different names for that sacred shape around me or around you, and they begin weaving between them, creating this light web around you. And that may happen as well, feeling like it's happening right now. So let's just acknowledge that our higher self, our I am presence, and our body elementals are here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yes, I give permission for you to create this temple of light around me. So you are here. It is always for what is optimal for you at this time. Now, why is this moment profound? Well, it's not just that it's a moment that's been prophesized for millennium. It's not just a moment that we can finally physically see the breakdown. A little dramatic, but that's what's going to happen. And it's a time when there's no more procrastinating. Well, I was going to take more time for myself, but I'm really busy, but I have to do this, but I have to do that. Let me let someone else in. And so when we have, welcome, and so this is a time to look within. This is a time to realize we can't play the role we're playing anymore. And the 3-dimensional conditioning that we all have in different forms, but they're similar. There's that sense of being stuck. I can't express myself. I can't be who I am. I can't let my family know that I'm a psychic or a light worker, or I was sensitive and saw energies and talked to fairies as a kid, but then I stopped, or, the dolphins have been talking to me. And if there's that fear of what will they think, if I embody the truth of who I am, then we're staying imprisoned in that same paradigm that's been playing out on this planet for well over 400 years. I hear people say 400 years, but it's way longer than that. And that thousands and thousands and thousands of years of playing the game of fear, of playing the game of limitation, of, ooh, I better not step out, I better not speak up. I mean, even in school, if you spoke up, kids would laugh at you. The teachers could often be incredibly mean and cruel and abusive. And that happens in church. It happens in families. There's this bullying, this abuse, this looking down on, this ridiculing. How is that loving compassion in any way? But it's normal, but it's not okay anymore, because like it or not, we live on earth and she's ascending, she's expanding, she's moving herself up the scale. And she's moving to a place that's like, whoa. We can't stay behind unless we want to merge to an alternate reality or timeline. And you're hearing this talked about a lot. You do this, you're the creator of your reality. You chose this one. If you tune into a different reality, one where you live alone and you're no longer married to somebody who drags your energy down, or one where you have more money with ease and grace doing what you love versus slogging to a job you hate and being exhausted all the time, or a reality that's where your body is flexible and fluid and healthy and slender and you can jump and play and climb pyramids instead of what's happening now. There's all kinds of different realities that we want, and we're the creators, but we've been taught we can't have it, we're not good enough, it's hard, and all this other stuff. All of these three-dimensional conditionings have to fall down, have to fall apart. And the fun for me is to see you and to see my clients and my students when they start seeing through what feels like this heavy, heavy burden, this heavy shackle. And they start, oh, there isn't anything wrong with me. We've been taught to fix things, that there's always a problem, that there's something wrong with us. But we're infinite. So instead of fixing a problem, what if we rose above the thought process, the belief, the reality, the timeline, the dimension, the emotional state that says you're not enough? And I said, what if I was enough? What if I really was infinite? What would that feel like? What would that be like? Well, for starters, you'd start to see these patterns, these blocks, these agreements, these contracts. You would start to see them, feel them, and you'd start to say, wow, every time I go over to that person's house, I come back, I'm drained for 3 days. And then you keep going. And then you start saying, gosh, I just don't really want to go, but I don't want to hurt their feeling. And then you say, you know what? I can't go. I'm so sick from going over there that it's physically becoming impossible for me to do it no matter how much I want to be a nice person and have everybody love me. Oh, there's no how. And so you keep going, especially if it's family or a friend or a job or something you're supposed to do or something that makes you feel safe, even though it's making you sick. Your life begins to make you sick when you vibrationally are ready to move to the next level. But when you move from 3D to 4D to 5D, from one reality to another reality and beyond, you don't go anywhere. Do you understand that? You're not trying to achieve something that's millions of miles away. You are actually staying inside of your own light body, your own soul blueprint, this energetic structure that creates you, your body, and creates your reality, because it's embedded with all these things you chose when you created this life with your soul council. And so you bring in lifetimes about sex and money, shame and guilt, and fear of speaking up, and feeling like you're a slave and you have to always do everything for everyone else, you don't deserve, or you don't get what you want, and on and on and on. And here's the thing, you bring those with you so that you can go, okay, here's what I brought. How do we alchemize this? You're an alchemist, just like Merlin. You know how to transform all that heavy energy of shame and guilt and fear and anger and victimhood. And you know how to raise up out of it slowly into anger, and then into courage, and into neutrality, and into willingness, and into acceptance and harmony. And pretty soon you transcend the heaviness and you stop attracting the people and the places and the thoughts and the feelings and the diseases in the body and the lack of clarity and the procrastination, because you don't need to, because you've rose above them, or they have slid or shed off of you. So choose how you want to feel or see that, because it's very powerful. Now, it looks like we've had most of the people come on. I'll try to check in a little bit, but I want to share something with you, and I'm just going to look for the scale. Whoops, there it was. So this is a scale. What is going on? Hello. There it is. So this is the scale of human consciousness, originally created by David Hawkins, and we've changed it and updated it a little. And I just want to share it with you. If you want a copy, you can have one for free. Just email support@nanakasha.com. Now, all of my students and my private clients get this, and it's one of the first things we learn to understand. So when I'm talking about this, take a look. 20 doesn't matter. The numbers don't mean anything, just to show you that that's the lowest, enlightenment's the highest, and yes, it goes above that. So when you're feeling shame, which most people have been given and embedded with, I mean, I don't know about you, but my mothers would say shame on you, which is a curse. So for not believing in things like that, we've gotten really good at it in our society, right? And so when you are in a state of shame, your emotions, which is a body, it's an energetic body of yours, and it holds all these different blocks and codes. So I might see them, they might see them in your emotional body or your mental body, your mind. It doesn't matter. They're going to be embedded, these blocks and things. And when you look at them, they usually hold powerful information. So they might speak to us today. And your emotional field feels humiliation and your mind thinks miserable things. You begin to eliminate everything in your life. You don't care. You can't get out of bed barely. You don't try to make money. You don't take care of yourself, and so on. You've all felt this. It's very heavy. There's barely enough life force. And often people who commit suicide or have a death wish of some kind, they might manifest it through, terminal illness or something, are carrying so much of this vibration that they're literally just vibrating into death. Okay, and death is just a change of state, and then you decide what you want to do next, and you create another experience. So, but it is really nice because you came here, you're here right now in this profound moment. This is the biggest shift ever. So don't be looking for a vaccine to save you. By the way, they have horrific side effects. So be very careful of that, please. Don't be waiting for someone to rescue you. Don't be thinking that this disease is going to kill us all. Coronavirus has been around forever. It exists inside of everyone's body. It's just another form of flu. And it's also about opening your crown. So it's a very confusing time because we can have massive information given to us and you're susceptible to all of it. So until you are a complete master of your energy and your emotions, you cannot bombard yourself with Facebook all day and emails and texts and the news and this and that, because you have no time to be inside of yourself and listen to your own soul. So these energies that are low on the scale are also states or dimensions of consciousness or emotional states, however you can most relate to it. When you are in the state of pure love, you don't have anger, fear, grief, victimhood, despair, blame. You don't blame people when you're there. And yet when you're in joy, okay, joy is a power state. It is a very, very high state. When you're in joy, look where it is. It's way up there, okay? If somebody comes along with fear and they try to start controlling you, and they start ridiculing you and telling you you're useless and you're not good enough, and they're triggering old beliefs that you were taught by your family that you thought you had gotten rid of, but they're buried over here or they're buried over there, right? And all of a sudden there's an irritation because people who are at fear or anger or guilt, they don't like you when you're happy. And maybe it seems like a jealousy thing, but it's an energy thing. Your energy is irritating to them, just the way their energy is irritating to you. But as a higher frequency, you basically ask them, come here, come here. And they can stay or leave. And here's the thing. We've been taught that our job is to give to others first and to sacrifice ourselves. Well, I won't have this, or I won't go here because of my kids or my husband or this or that, or people won't agree with my choices if I spend money on myself. So I feel guilty, then I'm not going to do it. I'll give all the money to them, whatever the story is. And you've learned to live above that. Most of the time, you're pretty happy. Most of the time, you're trusting life. Most of the time, at least you're encouraged. You think and feel things are possible and you're moving towards that. But then you get around that person and suddenly they're trying to guilt you. They're in fear. They're in these low states and you're not compatible. When you start to notice how sick it makes you, when you start to notice it, that they can hook you and pull you down there in a minute or a day, where they can start to make you sick or whatever you've seen happen when you've repeated this pattern over and over, you have to start to choose for you. And regardless of who they are, it doesn't matter. You have to say, no, I'm not going to be around that person. And you can be kind about it, but you need to choose for you. And then you need to practice, how do I stay at this higher state? Because if you do not allow something outside of you to pull you down, then they can't get you. You won't be contributing to the fear machine that's out there. You see the fear machine every day. People are churning it out. They're helping the news by repeating it all over. Did you know this? Did you know that? Be afraid of this. Be afraid of that. Be scared of this. Be scared of that. What we want to do is go inside and say, what is it time to let go of and shed it? So soul readings are to see whatever it is that your higher self or your soul would like you to see in this moment. If you'd like a reading, put your name. If you have a topic, put that too. And if you don't need a topic, and I'm just going to go ahead and do the reading without any information unless there's something specific. So like I said, what comes through is what's optimal for you. And when you see the difference in the scale and you realize that you live usually in disappointment, you expect it or you've had it. I know most people, we've been there. That desire disappointment loop, like, oh, you're just stuck. Like, I really want more money, but I can't make it. Or I really want this, but, and you try, and then you get tired and you go back to, oh, well, I guess I'm just, despair or indifference. Oh, well, I'm not meant to be. Or maybe you're operating up at the higher stage, but then you have those few triggers left that go whoop, down to the top, bottom. So the key is just this. You're here for this moment and your soul chose it. So there's special and important information that's coming to light through the earth, through the changes that are happening, through the transparency that's happening. We're seeing through these crazy, egotistical, greedy attitudes and extreme desperation-filled news and institutions. And yet there's so much uncertainty about what it means, and are we really in a big change, and what does it mean, and what do I do? And we're not ready for the new to form, because like a metamorphosis, the old hasn't completely broken down or melted yet. And so instead of worrying about whatever is happening in the story of what's happening right now, look at your energy. Okay, are you spending most of your day in anger or fear? Are you spending most of your day in blame? Very, very low, very heavy energy to carry around. Or are you willing? Are you in trust? Are you in neutrality? Are you releasing? and just shedding every day. What a beautiful state to be in, or to target to be in, you know? And then if you're just willing, okay, I don't know what's happening, but I'm willing to hold my state up here because I know no good comes from me diving down there. Nothing good comes from that, right? And so what we do is allow ourselves to say, I am the most important thing in my life. Oh, that's going to push some buttons. I never could have said that. Believe me, I had the lowest self-esteem. I couldn't even say that I love myself. And it took me many, many years, 35 years or some ridiculous amount of time I've been on this path. So, but here's the thing. It is because you came in, there's only one person who can take care of you. There's only one person who can decide what you think. There's only one person who can decide, yes, I'm going to look at this pattern that's coming up right now. I'm going to look at this abscess or this broken toe or this whatever is speaking to me right now. You know, my anger with my relationship, or my frustration with my job, or my feeling of being alone and not good enough, or whatever it is. If it's on your plate in front of you, it's what your soul wants you to look at. Not to make you feel bad. Say, let's complete this. We came with this. We came with this because it's heavy. And it's time to walk into it and realize it doesn't have power over you. There's a reason that you made a decision or an agreement around it. There's something heavy that happened that brought more of it, because now it was a magnet. Now it was a mass of energy that went into another life. And as in that life, carrying that heavy, I'm never going to speak up. I'm a bad person. I don't deserve. If I have money, it'll be taken from me. All these different beliefs I see in my deep sessions with my clients. And then that carrying that into that life immediately starts to attract, right? Like energies, experiences, relationships, people, and it got stronger. And then another life, and then another life. And they're not necessarily sequential, because as a soul, you can choose different things. This life, let's learn just to be happy and to be a Zen monk and to learn energy. And, you know, there might be an inspiration for that. Like, I don't want to speak anymore, so I'm going to go to a Zen monk and meditate. But I have a client recently where we uncovered her beautiful soul blueprint. She's half of the lives she brought in this time are related to her doing deep spiritual work. One of them was like a Zen monk on top of a mountain meditating, and, you know, and many other spiritual lives. And the other one was about different forms of power and abuse and fear. And so those are patterns that are common: enslavement, servitude, not enoughness, feeling stuck, not deserving. And we've been taught to hold ourselves back. We even hold ourselves back. So that's why you have to claim right now, I'm here for a reason. My soul chose it. And that's why I'm here. So thank you, everyone. Let me check on the waiting room. Oh, we're good. Okay, great. They have a required waiting room now, so I can't just leave it open. And wonderful. So depending when you came on, we have lots of beautiful people here. Thank you so much. Akasha here. And I'm going to share something with you, and then I'll show you my face, so don't worry. We'll connect in a second. What I want to do is welcome you and just remind you that we're in the Infinity Healing Chamber, and you're in a sacred space. So if you could all just take a deep breath in. Agree to bring yourself fully here and be here now as a clear and open channel to your highest good and an excellent receiver to what is optimal for me at this time. And allow yourself to sink into this place, into this moment. And in a moment, I'm going to guide us all into connecting deeper into this space, meeting the Light Body Council, connecting and tuning in with your higher self, your I Am Presence, and your body elemental that's been weaving this beautiful triad, this pyramid of light around you. And we'll all open and connect to these higher parts of us and to declare our readiness and willingness to be a clear and open channel to our soul and what is optimal for us to know, to release, to reveal, and to remember and to renew at this time. So you can just feel that energy and intention moving out through you, surrounded in this beautiful space of light at infinity between the worlds. You're safe. Great. Now I'm going to share something with you that's very exciting. I have a new course. It starts in a few weeks, and it's called Soul Star Awakening. And we're going to focus over 5 live. It's only live once, and on the live ones you're going to be able to share, and I'll do readings and Q&A with you and everything. So it's always better to come live, plus it's 50% off. And we're focused on our soul star. Soul star is the 8th chakra above the crown where your higher self lives. So this is all about your higher self. And that's where you can find it, is at nanakasha.com/soulstar, and it's only $150, or you can do 2 payments. So it's well worth it. And as soon as you sign up, there's a training video to get started with your graphics, and there's also a PDF. And so just going to show you, this is one of the graphics and sort of represents the process of connecting the heart through all of these chakras to the soul star. And we're going to work with the scale, and we're going to work with 13 chakras, and we're going to learn the Atlantean scepter. My light body students know these. And we're going to learn to heart weave with our higher self and encode this soul star chakra, which is the new thing. So what we're going to do is, give me a second, and I've got to come out of here. There we go. Okay. I'll just show you this. So what's going to be fun about this is that, like I said, right now, it's so important for us to have an awareness of our truth. To let the old paradigms, the old beliefs, the old conditioning melt and shed away, and create our own direct connection to our soul, to our purpose, to everything about ourselves. When we listen within and learn to do that, have these deeper connections, we have an opportunity to unplug from the matrix, to unplug from what's happening around us. It's imperative that we unplug from the fear, because if we stay in fear around anything that's happening, we're contributing to keeping us in that fear paradigm. So if it's like a race, you know, the light and the dark, and the light and the dark, and the fear and the love. And it's not that we aren't going to ascend, we will. But how we go and how quickly we go and how your journey is up to you. And the sooner that all of us do this as a conscious connection, the sooner that we all start living our purpose, and these other things that are happening don't bother us. They don't make any sense, right? So this is about the soul star chakra, and it's 5 different levels. The first one is going to be Secrets of Your Higher Self and Soul Star Awakening Chakra Activation. So using that one with all the different chakras, and then a journey into the realm of the higher self. So these are all going to be live, and then they'll be recorded for your permanent library with music. Then we're going to have a heart-to-heart light weaving session with our higher self. And all of these you can repeat, because it'll be a new experience every time once you've done the first and encoded it. Then we're going to explore our Akashic records with our higher self, because in your soul star chakra is the first level of a gateway to your Akashic records. And that's just everything about you and you've done, and all your lives and skills and fears and everything. So it helps give you clarity. But it's not like you just go there for the hell of it. You go there and you're shown what's optimal for you at this time. And then we're going to visit the temple of your higher self. And this is an incredible, incredible experience that I do with some of my private clients. And I was so excited about it that I wanted to share it with you guys. You're going to get some of these graphics. As soon as you sign up, you get the PDF and you get the video, which is training. So the Soul Stars Tools training video and the PDF guide. And then we're going to also have a pre-call on October 10th. It starts on October 13th. where you go on a date with your higher self. One of my favorite things to do. Okay, so that's it. I just want you to know about that, and I hope you'll join me. Okay, good. So let me, okay, I'll leave that there for a second. Just gonna check on any more people. Nope, good. All right, give me a sec here to get my water. So now we're going to go and I'm going to lead this guided process, and then I'll go into the soul readings by just opening the chat and seeing the names and letting Spirit pick who. All right, I had to get some water and have a little cough. Hey, everybody. All right, let's see, where am I? We got to move my table a little bit here so you can see our friends. So welcome, everyone. And I was going to light a little bit of sweetgrass as we start. I'm going to have to turn the air off. I have my wand with me today. Most of you haven't seen my wand because I got it after the retreats had to be canceled. And a very magical fairy godmother friend of mine used it in a play. And then I was the lucky recipient of it. So it's usually not here, but I'm very happy that it called to be here today. So what I want you to do is to get present and be here now, meaning do like we were talking, come into the Infinity Healing Chamber. My candle is too small, so I'm gonna. And today we have some sweetgrass. It's very crumbly. So I'm going to keep it over here. So I want you to just enter again into this space as if we are in physical space together, and feel yourself coming through and allow the sweetgrass to cleanse you, clear, carry away the blocks, reveal that which is ready to come to the surface today, to be remembered, taken back in, or to be released. There we go. All right, now hopefully that will stop. Okay. So I talk with my crystal babies all the time, and they're when I do a private session or a class or something like this, there's always certain ones that want to come and be near us. These came up recently and have been wanting to be around a lot. It's a blue lapis and a tiger's eye heart. Those are right here. Okay, so go ahead and close your eyes and relax. Drop your shoulders down. Notice if there's any tension in the head, the temples, the jaw, the throat, the neck, the shoulders. And let all of these conscious, loving, light energies in this infinity healing chamber and around you weave this tension away. There's a lot of gritting the teeth kind of energy here right now. So I'm just going to unlock that. Trying to get through. There's a lot of clenched hands. So we're just going to relax and do some infinity weaving. And that's what's fun is when you learn this, and you're going to learn a little bit of this in the Soul Star class. You can weave anywhere, anything, anytime. Good. So take a deep, slow breath in. Feel it coming in through your nose. And as it rises up through your brain, feel it go out of your crown, and like a fountain, let the breath go and feel it like beautiful sparkling light pouring down through your body, mind, and emotions, cleansing and clearing. Good. There's relaxing into the infinity healing chamber, sending gratitude from your heart like a line of light, a stream out into the chamber, into the all-seeing eye and the golden cone of light above and below. Send it out into the Akashic Ascension sphere, into that light flower of life sphere. And send out now gratitude and beautiful ribbons of infinite color, spectrum just spinning and spiraling out into this sacred space. And then use it like you're plugging in this line of energy you've just sent from your heart. Plug it in to this chamber and allow yourself to rise to infinity. Take a deep breath in. I'm ready and willing and open and receptive to rise to infinity. And let that breath go. And that intention or declaration or command moves out through your field. Good. Take another slow, deep breath in. And feel it now going out of your body through your aura and your emotional body and your mental body. And out and out and out, cleansing and clearing and cleansing and clearing. And release it. And sink deep into your chair or your bed, letting everything go. Dropping the heavy buckets of sand you've been carrying, the guilt and the shame. Letting go of what's next, what's later. Letting go of trying to analyze what's happening. Just be here now. Now relax as the Light Body Healing Council begins to weave your heart into all of these dimensions, these lives, into your soul blueprint. Weaving round and round, creating a flower and a vortex and a tube torus. And now an infinite flow begins. between you and all of your soul and your soul blueprint. All lives, all skills, all answers that are relevant and optimal for your highest good right now are being connected back to your heart center. When you feel the vortex of spinning lights, all the different colors opening in your heart, spinning, spinning, and we drop the shungite in there. It's a beautiful black stone, and it absorbs all the shadows. It absorbs all the fears. It absorbs anything keeping you from clearly seeing, connecting, communicating, and speaking to your highest self and what is optimal from your soul at this time. Relax a little deeper as we activate your light body at optimal speed for you at this time. And now we weave a clear connection from your heart through your throat into your third eye. And now from your throat to your third eye into your crown in an infinity symbol flow. And now from your third eye up through the crown into your soul star, into your higher self world, back down to your crown and your third eye, again up from your third eye through your crown and into your soul star, gently connecting and weaving back down through the crown, crossing through the third eye one more time. And now just allow your awareness to stay up in that soul star. Stay up in the realm of your higher self. Relaxing deeper, allowing the infinity healing chamber to raise your state gently up, feeling good, feeling possible, feeling hope, feeling willing, feeling intentions and inspiration, feeling harmony, transcending the heaviness, transcending shame, guilt, grief, fear, depression, desire, anger. Rising above and feeling it easily falling far, far below you. The infinity healing chamber and your higher self hold you in this light that holds the codes of your infinite truth. You feel your heart opening now, and that vortex of light and energy growing bigger as we drop this rose quartz crystal into the center of your heart vortex. And the vibration of pure love begins to spin through your heart chakra and expand. And you feel ready and willing to ask for a clear and open connection to your higher self. Open now and invite your higher self in. Send a ribbon, a stream of loving light out to your higher self with an invitation. I'm ready and willing for a clear connection and communication. And feel it coming back. Welcome it as it enters your heart. And send it out again. And say, I'm open and receptive to release or to remember, so I can rise into the next dimension and anchor myself there, so that I can be free of the old paradigm of three-dimensional thinking and conditioning and fixing. I'm ready and open, and I accept and let go. And stay in a space of compassion and harmony. That whatever is optimal for me will come to me today, whether it's through another's reading or my own, whether it's directly to me in this moment, in this chamber. I'm ready and willing and open and receptive to all levels of communication and light language. And I give permission for my 360 senses to awaken and open. As is optimal for me at this time. All right, good. Beautiful. Oh, you're also beautiful. Okay, so just stay where you are, stay relaxed, because I'm going to do this by scrolling through, and I'll just begin to talk. And I'm feeling guided that we won't probably interact, so that I can share more. We'll see what comes up. All right. La, la, la. The sweet grass does smell so good, Julie. Okay, so Stacy Newring. Newring, wow, what a lovely name. All right, Stacy's feeling stuck. I'm interested in a reading. Yes, I can see it. All right, good. So just relax, everyone relax. Be open to receive. I ask for a clear and open connection to Stacy Newring for her highest good and what is optimal for her at this time. Directly into her soul's blueprint and higher self. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Stacy is feeling stuck and is ready and willing and open and receptive to receive or to release. It's a backpack, you're carrying something around. Receive. Yes, you can't receive because you're carrying a lot of things. It's like a bunch of boxes. They're very nicely wrapped, but there's a lot of them. They're big and they're small. And you've got a backpack. And it's heavier, much bigger and heavier on the left side. So carrying something sticking way up out of there. It's carrying some heavy energy baggage. Oh, nice. Okay. So what you've done, Stacy, is you've done really good work in this life, and everyone has. Everything you've been doing is training, for right now. And so you didn't know what you were doing. It was like, surprise, you were in training. Now we're going to show you how smart you are. Um, but the backpack only has things. This is energetically in your soul blueprint. This on the left side because you've cleared everything you brought on the right side. So you've been through a lot of intense experiences with that creator energy, that masculine energy, that taking care of things and making things happen, or working hard, striving to be good enough, needing to holding yourself back. So some of that stuff there was the patterns and agreements around holding yourself from reaching out and from bringing, creating or receiving. But you receive more with the left, so your receiver is very blocked. So you've cleared your ability to go out, even your throat chakra, your throat energies on the right side, they feel like they're in full color. They feel like they're ready to speak. There's a lot of life force energy really coming through the right side of your body, your bodies, your energy bodies, but that also creates more energy in the right side. So that could be causing both overload because it's not able to receive what it needs to go create. So therefore you're stuck in something where you've got all these things in your arms, and so it's very difficult to receive, and it's very difficult to go to give or to be or to create. And there's some pent-up energy. There's some pent-up energy here about wanting to get on with this. Let's make this happen. Let's create. And it seems like there's both patterns that you have for holding yourself back. Not a big shock. We all have them. But also there's something in your environment that's keeping you stuck. And it's a powerful part of your life. It's in your house. It might be your house. It's something to do with your space or someone in the space, and they have a big impact on you. This is one anchor that's keeping you stuck. The energy in the backpack is feminine, owning your feminine power, your sexual power, your sacred intuitive powers, your power of feminine creation to blend with your readiness on this side to go make it happen in the world. But you haven't been allowing yourself, you've been weighing yourself down and keeping your receiving energies from full of holding old. They really are old. These are old patterns because they're empty boxes. It's like you've emptied the boxes, but you're still holding the box. There's a sense of obligation and agreement that you need to carry these boxes. You need to hold on to these things just in case, where you actually delivered the contents a long time ago and almost have forgotten. There's sort of a sleeping beauty essence to it, gone to sleep, to the fact that I don't have to carry these anymore. And oh, it's a lack. There's a lack belief. It's a lack pattern. Oh, there's a big, long energy that comes out of the backpack that sticks way up. It almost looks like selenite, like a chalky crystal hunk, but long. And it's resonating with the right here and the brain. And, that is, see, this is a very powerful energy here. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Hang on. Just relax, Stacy. There's something happening here with the left brain, which is part of that right side. So of course that's really active, but it's been stuck. Like you said, it's going in patterns because it feels like it's in a prison. It's just going round and round. And this huge intuitive selenite wand energy you're carrying in your backpack needs to be something that you take out of your backpack. So I want you to actually take your left hand, reach behind you physically. You don't have to open your eyes, and hold on to it. It would take your whole hand to get around this and pull it slowly out of that backpack. Okay. It is enormous. I want to say it's a wand, but it's not fancy, but it is like a big, huge, enormous piece of selenite. Okay. And now just bring it down, keep holding on to it, and just hold it in front of you. Wow. You're an intuitive, and I mean this like in a big way, like bigger than everybody's intuitive. Okay. And everybody has these kinds of skills. It's that we haven't been taught. In fact, when you remove art and music and then hypnotize people with TV all day, they lose their ability to use their intuitive and creative and visualization skills, your ability to direct and see energy. So in this moment, Stacy, you're being asked, are you ready and willing to reclaim this gift, this wisdom, this knowledge? It's a very big talent, and you brought it with you for a reason. But there's been hesitation, and there's been the patterns you brought as well to hold you back from using these skills because of fear of it being okay, or what might happen. There's been a sense of separation, and this isn't going to fix the separation you feel from others, but it's going to reconnect you to yourself, which then allows you to shed the need to be, to belong, the need to worry what others think. You don't need it for security or safety. And this is already vibrating so strongly with this side of your brain. It doesn't look like it's rewiring. It's going over the brain like a slightly opaque white light that's sort of magnetically emanating or pulsing something into its awakening. So you're feeling, oh, you said you were feeling stuck. That's right. So you're feeling stuck is because you've done a lot of really powerful work, and you've, without even knowing it, sometimes been on the path of your souls, taking each of these difficult steps through these heavy patterns. Now it's time for you to take out some of your tools and receive the truth of your infinite talents and receive your truth. So there's 3, 5, 14. That's something else. Okay. 3. So there's 3 specific lifetimes that you brought with you, meaning the pattern specifically from that lifetime that relate to your skills and talents with this particular light wand, light energy. And I would definitely look at selenite. Getting a piece of selenite certainly doesn't have to be that big, but it resonates with you, at least right now, very powerfully. You can even sleep with it under your pillow. It's an angelic stone. It's a very protective stone, so it's very wonderful. But the energy of what it represents here is you being willing, sort of the sword and the stone, to pull out the truth of who you are. Let it unfold. Don't worry about how, but it has to be that willingness right now for you to reclaim that. And that's the next step from feeling stuck. If you don't want to reclaim it, it's fine. Put it back in the backpack and stay where you are until you get more frustrated or whatever triggers you to want to change again. And everybody, you all have that free will. I'm just telling you right now, things are accelerated. So If you say yes, you will go like a bat out of hell. Things will start to happen if they're not already. And this is a beautiful thing to reclaim, and yet there's conditionings and beliefs that will bump up against it. So just like we were talking about with the scale, you have to choose, decide, this is for all of us, reclaim the truth of who I am, to express it and to live it, number one priority, regardless of the people who don't like it or the changes that have to or will occur in my life because of it. Because this is what your soul planned. So your soul is asking you right now, this is what they want you to see. This is what they want you to tune into. Your sacred feminine powers, accepting your femininity, accepting your intuitiveness, accepting your gifts, and accepting that that side, that part of you is as powerful as the masculine side, and allowing that energy to emerge. It's a process. So I do private sessions, everyone. I don't talk about it a lot, but so if you want one, you can just email us. But this is something you're going to want to be with and enjoy, play with, journey, meditate, dream, pick it up before you go into sleep. Is there anything else for Stacy at this time? Oh, they're just showing me different images of you. Very, I want to say Joan of Arc, not because of that person in particular, but the idea behind somebody who's willing to stand up for what they believe, willing to be strong, and willing to not back down. But you don't have to then accept the consequences she had, because that's the pattern we're breaking right now, right? So you can go for it. Just taking on that energy of focus and commitment to your own self. All right, good. I just cleanse myself. That's a cosmic cleanse from Light Body Healing that uses the violet flame and another ray. Woo! Wow, that was very far away. Okay, thank you, Stacy. You are glowing, by the way. This glow from the wand thing, the glow in your brain, the glow of the way you look when you start to embody it. So what happens has happened a few times, I think, this year in my private sessions, is we see clearly in the energy body the divide that we have between our right and our left, between our feminine intuitive and our, active creative outbuild and so on. And that this is part of not just duality, but the fact that they don't blend or communicate, or there's certain places where they're blocked, or one's bigger and one is muted, is the imbalance we're seeing on the planet right now, right? So when we balance that back up, we can go a little bit more into one energy than the other. So for you, this is being stuck, let go of worrying about making something happen. That's a 3D thought, right? This is like, oh, okay, right now my soul's saying, here, this is what we want you to remember. This is, remember means put it back on, put this member of you back on, right? To reconnect to this. And then that process is what's going to shift things, start to blend things, and then you'll have an ability to know what is next or what to do. But you have to honor what comes through, and if you don't understand what it is, get help from somebody you trust, but be careful of other people's interpretations, okay? I'm always happy to help, but I much prefer if people learn like Light Body, because you learn to all these senses increase, and you start to be able to interpret and understand your own messages, which is way more powerful, of course. Okay, let's do another one. Oh, you guys are so beautiful. Okay. If I do a reading for you and you feel like it, please give me some feedback in the chat window. That would be lovely. Okay, Erica. All right, new beginnings. New beginnings. All right. Oh, okay, so Merlin stone, labradorite. It's a very magical stone. That's why it's called Merlin stone. Kind of beat up a little. This is what called for you, Erica. So one of the things, and I know Erica, so, look at that. It's like an eye. One of the things about your new beginnings is definitely magic. Really dropping into the belief of magic. Uh, magic, what we call magic, is really just us remembering who we are and anchoring in a higher dimension so that we can use our ability to sense and direct energy, right? All right. Ask for a clear and open connection to Erica, higher self. What is optimal at this time? There's a very interesting energy in your field behind you. So I see you, and now you're changing, and you're standing on a war field, a battlefield, but you're a nurse on the battlefield. Three different times. Wow, 3 different times, different eras, like different outfits, different 40s for sure. Feels like the 20s, but I don't, or Africa, and started out looking like a storm behind you on your right side, like a big storm clouds were coming and some fiery red at the horizon that looked like burning bombs or fires or something. And on the other side, it fades into just a dark sky. So right now, your soul is showing that you're standing in a really good place. You're standing between the worlds. That means many things. That you're standing no, it isn't about where you are physically right now on the planet. It's about who you've become, and that you're standing very calmly as you transform into these different yous, different lives of your soul. And you're not a part of the drama going on around you. It's like you can just become each one of these and just be your very calm and centered presence. There is a completion that, okay, I want to say has happened. And then every time I go to say that, they show me, it looks like a box, and it looks like a chest. I don't know if you guys did, but I got a chest to go to college with. That was the thing you did. You bought a chest, put stuff in it. But it's old and leather and black, and it's buckled and worn. And it's somehow attached to your lower back. So there's some energy in your lower back it does look like it's been expressing in the physical body as well. Um, and it's attached to this because this is the wisdom. This is the sacred case of the wisdom and knowledge you've gained from these different experiences, including this life. Playing this role, playing this pattern. And it's more of the archetype of the caregiver and the healer that you've been expressing your soul talents through. So these skills you have are a part of you now. And this bag is actually is the heaviness. That's what it is. That's why it's attached to your lower back. And this bag is what is sort of condensed energy around obligations, enslavement, and duty. The sense of duty is very big here. And what it's saying to you is that this way of expressing your soul talents is complete. You don't need to be the traditional nurse or the caregiver or in the middle of the battlefield rescuing people. You can step out and express your soul talents, which are very, very good. You're very attuned to people. You're a very excellent healer. You're very excellent at staying calm in a drama. You have all of these skills and strengths, and they're not there for you, waiting for you to take them on. You already have them. What's partially holding you back and creating some energy in your lower back, which is about lack of support, lack of money, fear of that, supporting yourself, moving forward type of thing in a new way. And so that's what you need to look at, is choosing to release that. And it's all the sense of obligation, or who am I if I don't have this identity, or any other thing is in this case. And so if you weave with it, and then just sit with it, I wouldn't open it, but I would ask, is there anything in here that I need to know before I complete all agreements with this energy? So it's like somebody's giving you a suitcase full of all the agreements there. And then you're going to take a sideways step out of that timeline or paradigm, because that's only one way of expressing all along these really high level skills that your soul has. And now you can take everything you've learned in this life and in those, all of these skills and abilities of your soul, of a healer and a seer, meaning you see people, you see and you can hold compassion for. So you are a seer, and you can begin to express it in a new way. So the new beginning is you looking openly, not desperately, not trying to find it, not trying to fix it, but like opening a door in the invisible world and saying, I'm ready to come in. And I would call on Merlin. I would call on nature spirits. Dolphins are jumping, happy to work with you. If you have labradorite, otherwise just call labradorite in, and allow yourself to let go of the previous way of figuring things out and be in the magic of it. Turn around. look through eyes you haven't looked for before. Through. Good. Purple tulips. I don't know why those are important to you. Just get a picture of one maybe on the internet. But there's some kind of vibration in a purple tulip. They're showing me an enormous one in your core, your solar plexus and your heart. And it's a really beautiful purple, which is the frequency of the crown and the soul star and the higher realms and accessing the subtle realms and other dimensions and energies, which is part of your abilities. All right, thank you, thank you, thank you. I think there was a Nina. Nina, was there a Nina? Yes, Nina. Nina, hi Nina. Okay, just making sure you're going to say anything else. No, okay, Nina, you're in there. Nina, for her highest good, and to her highest self, for what is optimal for Nina at this time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You're a very cosmic being. Energy field is very expanded. It's very, you're like a cat, just in the sense that they can easily come in and out of their body. It's also very little connection to your body. So there's something about not feeling safe in the body. But you're a dancer. There's an energy of dance all through the center core of your energy, and a disc that's moving almost out of sync with everything else. Everything else is very quiet, very sedate. And then there's this core of you that's spinning and dancing. This is great deal of joy, great deal of gold. It's gold energy. So this is we actually all have a disc right through the center here energetically, and I don't see it often. It needs activating. It needs activating other parts of the light body usually. So this is a very beautiful sign. You've got a mastery and of part of your light body already that's quite unique. Let me just look a little deeper, understand this. It looks like when you see clouds, but they don't have shapes. It's just solid clouds. And then there's light, like a sunset, and they kind of turn this sort of dark orangey, or like the fires in California right now. They have this pictures where it's like almost red, orange, smoky sky. So it's very much like your sphere, your soul's sphere of energy is in this, anchored in this space that is dim and dark but colorful, like smoky, like this. Just going to be with it. It's not moving or sharing anything else. Well, if you're not in California, it sure looks like you're in California. Um, wow. Okay, okay, okay. So, Nina, you're a very different being. Um, I I don't think angel is the correct term, but there's some very uniqueness to who you are, and it doesn't look the way humans look in the way that if they're in the scene, then there's some part of them that's still stuck in that scene. This appears like here's something happening, and you come down with this huge golden disc coming out from the center core part of you out, and you just anchor into the moment. And this disc does some kind of balancing to the situation. So your purpose is very much about anchoring into places of darkness, uh, meaning energetically in some way or another. Sometimes we don't see the darkness. Um, those are the heavier states, right? Uh, Places that are, maybe what we would call disasters or things, but it's more, it's almost like people don't see you. They don't know you're doing this. And your blueprint anchors into something. So is this, okay, I'm just supposed to wait. It's now time for you to become consciously aware of this mission and this ability. It's been amping up because you were encoded to awaken at this time, and everything you've done up to this moment was training and shedding and transformation, and almost like learning to understand the dramas of people's emotions and lives, not so that you fix them, but so that when you activate yourself, you balance those frequencies. So you're a balancer, and it's not a learned skill in the world, but everything you've done to this point has helped you. It's almost like you go to sleep, you consciously leave, and then this parts of you knows what to do, just turns on, and you stay in that place. So you do this everywhere you go, whether you realize it or not. And that balance, there's no voice involved, there's no talking to people about it, it's pure presence, and everything is coming from this central disc. So it's time to become aware that your mission is balancing, and this needs to first be for you to create a space where you feel balanced inside of your mind, inside of your belly, and inside of your self-image. So your assignment or message is to sit and be with this, watch it, ask to see it, but in a very calm way so that it unfolds exactly the way it's meant to. You don't have to be conscious of it for it to work, and yet this is part of the point of the message today, is for you to feel and understand this gift and talent. It's now is the time for you to become more aware of it, but to do it in a very soft way. So sit with it, allow the awareness of it to come forward, and then the purpose of this in like the next step will become revealed. But as you consciously become aware of this, like a big gold tutu that sticks straight out here, this energy you have to anchor in, the stronger it's going to become, and the more you will understand, it will become clear what your path is, where you're meant to move to. Yes. I feel like I'm seeing a superhero movie, sort of. There's no movement really, but it's, or The Fifth Element, if you've ever seen that, where it's like they just like turn on the switches and then she boop, turns on and the light comes out. This is a very high mission, and it's important to not be overwhelmed by it because you already know what to do. Now it's time for you to become aware of it, and it's going to be probably the biggest hill will be changing your self-image to see yourself this way and to honor and respect your ability. So maybe seeing yourself like a superhero who goes to their life as the normal person and then behind closed doors changes into their superhero thing and goes and does their special thing. It doesn't have to be, especially right now, something that you tell anyone, but it has to be something that you respect and honor and take care of. Namaste. There's a great deal of honor and bowing to you because you are helping the angelic realms and several other energy councils or collectives that are helping to balance the earth. So there's a deep amount of gratitude to you from these realms, and they're here to help you if you need it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Melissa. Let me look here to see if Melissa said anything else. Just okay, Melissa. Good, good. All right. Okay. Oh, can already feel you. You're very joyful. Um, Ask for a clear and open connection to Melissa Bass, higher self, and that which is optimal at this time from her soul and soul blueprint. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Who turned out the lights? It's very dark in here. Are you hiding? You have a hell of a shield on. It's literally like an eclipse. It's like you've shielded the whole of your energy field. Can you give me permission to see and connect? Or give yourself permission to relax and release. And you only need to release and let through that which is optimal for you. Mhm. So, now I know why you're so joyful. This is your inner child, now sort of crawling through a little tunnel and giggling, turning the lights off and making a fort and playing in the dark, and has a little flashlight. So come on out, sweetie. This is a little blonde boy I'm seeing. Skinny with a big smile and blue eyes. It really feels like this is a game. There's a there's a blackout. So come here. It's got a little teddy bear. Come here, honey. It's okay. Huh? Yeah, you did a good job. He's very unaware. Something major has happened, and he's not aware of it. And his coping mechanism is just he's going around in this place in the dark, like it's tunnels and under furniture and just different places. Um, okay, pumpkin, would you come on my lap? That's good. Let's sit here. Huh? Beautiful smile you have. Let's see what you got. What's going on? Oh, okay. Yep. So, it's a big explosion. Everything went dark. Yes. You can't find mom and dad or your dog, and your sister won't move. It's been a while. Okay. Far, far away from other people. I know you're hungry, aren't you, pumpkin? Okay, so yeah, just stay here. Come here. Come here, sweetie. Just relax here. There you go. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. What is it you want us to know? Oh, they have all kinds of different beings have been coming to visit and to take care of you. Yes, I see that. You feel very happy and very safe because they're here, even when it's dark, even though there's no food, even though your sister's lying lifeless in the hall, even though your parents and your dog are gone. It's dark all the time. Oh, they're going to. Okay, honey. That's fine. That's good. What would you like to share with Melissa? Yeah, that's true. It is. You're very brave, aren't you? Yeah. Yes, okay, sweetie. Time to go. That's good. We'll just all give you a big hug. You're okay now, honey. The angels are going to take you now. Thank you, Pumpkin. So, Melissa, if you just relax and feel the energies that are completing and reintegrating, and I'll share in a little bit what everything that happened. This little boy is now being taken by the angels, so he's dying in that life. This was you. And he's leaving this life with great joy, despite the fact that his home was bombed, his parents are dead, but he doesn't even know where they are. The dog, his sister, is dead, laying in the front hall by the door at the bottom of the stairs. And he's been here in the country, far away. It's a place with war going on. Feels like England, maybe in the 40s or something. And there were blackouts, so there's no lights. There's no electricity where he is. Nobody's come to see him. And he's small, maybe 4 or 5. And at first had a great deal of fear and didn't understand. He was able to find a little bit of food. And he would sit by his sister's body and talk to her. This is the only person he had around. At first it was confusion, and then fear, and then grief. And when he got to the bottom of the grief, he showed me he found a little peephole, and when he opened it, there was light and there was joy. So he kept opening it, and all these energies, these beautiful light beings, kept coming to be with him. At first, he couldn't see them, and they would sit on the stairs, they would sit around his sister, they would sit around him. And pretty soon, you, as him, would start to see and feel them. They'd start to talk to you. They would rock you and hold you like his mother did. They would tell stories. They would explain to him that this is all fine. It's a divine plan for your life. And we're here with you all the time. And when it's time to go to the next place, we'll be there with you. And over the, feels like a few weeks, maybe, that he lived, he went through these phases as if it was an entire life. And when it was finally time and he left and died, it was just a few weeks after this happened, he left with great joy, great understanding that the dark isn't the absence of light, that it's a part of you. And inside the darkness, you can play, you can find treasures, and you can learn to see. And in those few short weeks, he became enlightened. He became a master at seeing energies, communicating with other realms, and being present with what was there, with what was. He transcended the initial emotional human reaction of grief and tragedy and loss and sadness, because by the end, the essence of his sister and his parents were there as well with him. And he was just as comfortable with all the people in their light body as he was with them in their physical body. He transcended fear and grief and loss and guilt, and he moved to a very high state. And then when it was time for him to go, it was a beautiful transitioning of state rather than what we see most of the time is the fear in death. He joyfully giggled and crawled off, curled up in his favorite spot under a big chair, and left his body rising up with the angels and with his parents and his sister. Your soul has offered you this today so that you can connect to him and to what he learned, and to remember that the dark doesn't mean loss, negativity, or fear, and that you have already gone down this path. You have already experienced all of these states. And he wants to be, he was crawling and giggling with these big blue eyes. He wants to be here with you as a guide now to help you remember, to play and to giggle, and to start to see past those conditions of believing the 3D is all there is. Thank you. Namaste. Wow. That was very powerful and emotional and beautiful. Whew. Yeah. Oh, all right. Oh, we gotta let somebody into the waiting room. All right, let's see. Okay, we're gonna do a couple more. Good. Deepshika, I hope I'm saying that right. Deepshika, beautiful name. Thank you, everyone. I know you're all getting messages, you're all getting beautiful healings and amazing shifts are happening for everyone. And you being here and holding space is helping all of this to come forward. So thank you for letting me see you. Thank you for holding space for each other. And thank you for holding an open door for your soul to bring you new messages. All right. So give me a second. Okay, well, this will be fun if you come to the Soul Star Awakening class. You're going to learn how to talk to your higher self, and you'll be able to get a lot more of these kinds of messages or interpret them and stuff. Okay, so. Royalty, got it. All my little friends can help. So what your soul's called for is these two, or this rosette stone. It's very beautiful. Looks like little roses. And the amethyst. Wow. Okay. Ask for a clear and open connection to Deepshika and her higher self, to allow through that which is optimal and for the highest good at this time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There's a lot of opulence around you. Royalty, opulence, beauty, abundance, luxury. Your higher self is appearing like a goddess, like it looks like a beauty pageant participant. This beautiful gown and all this hair flowing, standing on a planet that has a very unusual sort of, at least where you are, barren. There's nothing there, but just some black mountains and that go up kind of sharp, and then a midnight blue sky. There's a eye in the sky. It doesn't look like an eye, it looks like a cloud, a white cloud that forms the outside of the eye, and then the iris. And it's just staying right there above these black mountains, but it's like a black stone. There's nothing growing on them, and they're very pointed, uh, rounded tips, but very steep points, a lot of them together. Oh, okay. So this is your star seed planet for this this life. And it's like I want to say you're royalty, but it isn't in the way that we think of royalty. It isn't in the way that we think of like, I'm better than you, or I own you, or I own all of this, or I have all the power, or I have all the money. It's like owning yourself. It's like owning this incredible being that you are, standing full and tall and radiating everything that you are, really embodying it, being strong, being present, being seen, all the things that nobody does on the planet here, or what we're all conditioned not to do. Is don't shine too bright, don't stand too tall, don't overshadow people, don't be too much. And your star seed essence came with you very strongly this time, and it's absolutely time to step into this. It's time to step into it is not the right word. Thank you. It is, it's already there. To acknowledge it, to allow it to come to the surface. It's almost like if you saw a sci-fi movie and you were watching through a peephole and you discovered there were aliens that were, you know, turning themselves into human bodies, and you just watch the metamorphosis, it's like that, like this part, sort of the shadow coming forward, being able to see this and own it. There's a strength in the shoulders and this long neck and this incredible presence. That's what it is. Let's see, what else do you need to know? Well, you definitely resonate with this black stone. It looks more like shungite, or it's not glass like obsidian. It's opaque, but it holds enormous power, and you're used to having that. This star is made from a lot of this energy, and it's protective, it's cleansing, it's grounding, and it's part of the source of your clarity, your power, but your power to be clear. Um, you're a clear visionary kind of being. There's a lot of emphasis on your eyes right in here, that whole inner outer eye area, the ability to see things others can't, and to see past things. This needs to be trusted. You need to open a conscious connection and conversation with this part of you. You need to give it permission to come forward, little at a time, whatever is optimal or comfortable for you. You want to get out of your comfort zone, but at first it's okay to say what's comfortable for me. And then you want to move into what's optimal for me and let your soul take over driving. But this is going to require you standing in it and embodying it, being there. amethyst is also very powerful for you because this star, this, it's not even a life, this makeup, this part of you, it is the visionary, is very high level in the eye and crown area. And so what you're, the amethyst, I keep seeing like a giant point of amethyst kind of on your forehead, but up here, sort of pointing up. And so using amethyst on or around any of this area or here in your crown. Yeah, we're just going to open the crown a little bit. So I want you to say, I am ready and willing to remember and receive and to embody this starseed quality with ease and grace at this time. Take a deep breath in. Good. Now, I want you to say, I'm open and receptive to clear communication with this part of me, and I give permission to myself at all levels to begin to embody this essence and merge with my mission, awaken my visionary powers, and be a beacon of insight for those who are here at this time and require clarity. Now I want you to feel yourself like you're becoming very tall. You're growing taller and taller and taller, all the way up, 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 up. And now you're this enormous pillar of light. And you're strong and you're solid and you're inside of this pillar of light. And you and this starseed you are in here, and you breathe in again and feel yourself merging together, solidifying this tall, strong presence. Good, good, very, very good. I'm going to just anchor it in. So I'm going to weave this down here into your root, right? And it's going to take root and grow up. So be present and play with this part of you. It's very strong and very vivid. Beautiful. Thank you. Namaste. Okay, wonderful. Georgette. Hello, Georgette. Well, hi, PK. Last reading has been such a life boost for me. A touchstone in this last crazy month. Would love another. Perfect. Just checking here. Okay, I know there's going to be a few more, so I'm just making sure I get everybody's name down here. So there we go. Georgette from M.A. Just talk to a lady who's out there. Thank you for the big hugs and the love, Linda. Hi, Marquette. Joy. I always thought that was the greatest name ever. You're welcome. Boston, Massachusetts. All right. Ask for a clear and open connection to Georgette, to Boston, to our higher self. Magic lady. Okay. You're wearing a veil. It's a very beautiful veil. It's similar to a wedding veil that's coming down over your face. Let's see why. Why are we being shown this? So really simple. It's like you're married to something. This doesn't necessarily mean a person. That you have married yourself to it and never taken off the veil. So your only comes down over your eyes, sort of right there, but there's something you're hiding, you're shadowing, you're staying in the shadow of something, you're hiding behind something you've given yourself to. There's something that you want, something your soul is ready for you to uncouple from and to release yourself energetically so that you can take that veil off and see your hair shining in the sun, like see and feel the light on you instead of this sort of shrouded, even though it's see-through like a wedding veil, it's the sense of being shrouded and also of having made a vow that you feel you can't, don't deserve, or there's just a part like, but I said I would, so I am going to stay connected to this. And is there, okay, they're telling me you know what it is. And okay, and that's all. All right. Is there any other? Yes, you're ready to see. You're ready to see so much more, see so far, see all these amazing things, not necessarily in the physical world, but in all different realms. And this is keeping you from that. And there's a readiness, like something new that's going to birth when you take this back. So it's been a little bit like you married yourself to a particular belief or life or something, and now it was like planting a seed in the ground. And remember, these seeds don't necessarily have nurturing environments. So sometimes that's the heavy stuff we bring from our soul that we want, that attracts more and gets very dense. And then, but it's been like a growing ground for you, and it's inspired you to now seek to reach like that little sprout does through the dirt into the sun. But there has to be a conscious kind of a ceremony that you do with yourself to take the veil off and uncouple. This is very much a belief, a very deep part of what defines your life. And it served you, but it's now like, it's time for me to leave home. I'm going to uncouple from my parents because I'm grown and I want to go have my own life. It's very much like that, but it is some heavy and some limiting energies. That's it. Okay, they keep saying, that's it. That's it. She knows what to do. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Brenda. Let's see. You're welcome, sweetie. Brenda. You can, if you're on Facebook with me and you want to share there after you've processed this a little bit, but Brenda from Myrtle Beach. All right. Brenda. Ask for a clear and open connection to Brenda and her higher self, and that which is for the highest good and optimal at this time for Brenda from Myrtle Beach. A lot of feathers. Ooh. There's two big, thick, I want to say doors that look like they close, but it's like a wall. It's like a huge, okay, it's in ancient Egypt and it's in a temple. It's very sacred. Not a lot of people come here. It's these huge, enormous obsidian thick walls, or I'm not sure if it's obsidian basalt, maybe, black stone. And they're open like a V, and you're standing in between them. They easily swing back together and create a solid wall, the side of it's not a pyramid, it's a temple in a complex with pyramid and some other things. So this is interesting. Again, this is more like a pose than a thing, similar to Erica, just in the sense that you're just standing here almost like a character on a game, like waiting to be dressed, type of thing. But you are, and these doors are open. There's a lot of light behind you, like fire, like torches or candles or something are flickering and lighting the space. It's huge, enormous ceilings. This is a sacred ritual space, a sacred space for I keep hearing embalming, but it's not, how Egyptians would embalm and mummify, but that was a sacred process that helped the souls transfer from the physical world into the other realms. And so there aren't any instruments really for the body. It's more like you are the priest or the spiritual or sage person who does the chanting and incantations, who does the important spiritual work for this souls. And this is very secret here. It's only for specific people. So this is a very powerful life for you. And it contained both great knowledge, great skill, great understanding of energy, of sorcery or magic or alchemy, of transformation, of communicating, working with energies, traveling different dimensions in and out of states and bodies. And there's also, those are the powers that you are now going to open your doors to. Maybe you'll remember them specifically or get dreams, but it's more about just standing in that place. This is a very powerful stance you have. You've got your left foot forward, which is interesting. And you're leaning to the side, holding this stance of like being in both worlds. And this is what you're going to be reclaiming now. It's one of your powers. And this life is important to create a conscious connection to as it comes up in these times. There is a part of this life, though, that had to do with misuse of power and following some things that you believed in that weren't the sacred part of it, but were the political part of it. And those created some guilt energy in you. So you've been carrying guilt energy, blame of yourself energy, and some shame energy in this life. And when you bring that in, remember it's also a magnet as well as a block. So it's attracted. So there's a lot of different experiences with shame and guilt and blaming yourself. And this is the time to take off those shackles. They literally look like big, long metal shackles around your wrists that you've sort of anchored to the ground. Like you told yourself, I'm not going to use these powers because although what I did was good, there was this other aspect that to my life, to the work, to the situation at the time, I didn't realize that I didn't like. And so right now in this life, there is a fear of authority, a disdain for authority, and a disdain for taking your own authority, a fear of doing that, a fear of being tricked, a fear of being used, a fear of being, just some heavy chains here, a fear of showing your strength and your power, more for being used and manipulated and not knowing it than from having it taken away from you. That doesn't really bother you because you know that you own these powers within. So this is a pretty big plate that's in front of you right now. But it's very important you remember you have the tools, you know how. And this is up now so that you can unhook and you can just imagine unlocking those shackles one by one and then checking the next day and doing it again and standing in that position and saying, I'm ready and willing to own my wisdom and knowledge through my heart and always run everything through it with a clear connection to my highest good in trust. That's going to be your secret, is to trust that higher part of you and to bring everything through your heart. You can let go of being worried about being hurt or attacked or any level of this kind of thing, being gaslighted or used, or you and everyone. We can, when we simply relax into saying, I own who I am. I accept who I am. I am that I am. E.A. Escher, E.A. And what you own now through your heart means you don't bring the fear and the guilt and the shame. But those patterns may come up. They may try to pull you back into those ways, but you're rising into your powers and you're anchoring yourself in higher dimensions. Some of you are already anchoring into fifth. Some of my students are anchoring into eighth. And most people are anchoring into fourth, but getting pulled back into third all the time by the drama. Strong and powerful, you have what you need. If any of those fears come up, do not let them control you. Do not let them drag you down or distract your attention. Stand back in this strength. Stand back in your alignment with truth, with infinity, the infinite field, with source, with your heart and your soul. You're a powerful transmutational agent that we need now. In your full power, anchored into fourth and fifth. All right, thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow, you guys are amazing, like stunningly amazing to see these beings, to see your energy fields, to see what you carry. And it's always amazing. I've seen it for decades in myself and others, you know, how powerful these blocks are, these agreements are that we've made, that we can't do this, or we can't speak up, or we can't remember our powers, or whatever it is. And it's stunning when we realize that, oh, I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to achieve anything. I have to just internally tune in and rise and transcend that. So when you look at the scale, you see transcendence is that acceptance. You just accept, okay, I'm this powerful being. Okay, I'm here for a reason. Okay, my soul chose to be here right now. Even if I don't know what it is, I don't need a plan. Because when you go into the higher dimensions, when you ascend, when you awaken, that plan only makes sense in 3D implementation. So asking, how do I fix it? How do I make it happen? Instead, ask, who am I? And who am I to be right now? And who did I come here to be right now? And how can I connect with my truth? And how can I awaken and remember and embody and appreciate and love those talents, those parts of me, of who I really am? Oh my gosh. Let me show you the scale. So you can just, okay, hang on. No, that's not it. It's this one. In my classes, or if you were a client or something, yeah, that's it. We test on the scale before and after. We do things like this, where we are. So if you have a truth testing method, I'll share a little bit about that in the Soul Star class. But so you can just take a second to look here at acceptance. Your emotions forgive, they let go. So that power of holding on and, oh, why, and it's not fair, and all that stuff that's below it, hate and craving and anxiety, regret, despair, blame, humiliation, it all goes, but effortlessly, because the process of acceptance is transcendence, and your mind goes into harmony and you get encompassed with compassion. So you've got this incredible place to rise to, and you don't have to go anywhere. You can change states right within yourself. We no longer have to follow these patterns, whether it was our family or government or church or ourselves or whatever, who told us you can't, you must, you shouldn't, whatever it is. this is about blossoming and opening to the truth of who you are right now. And if you don't do that, we're going to be missing a puzzle piece, right? So you can take a look and see where you feel right now. We went deep into grief, which is very low, a couple of times with a few of those stunning energy fields, a few of you. And we went into, fear and holding yourself back, enslavement. You see here at addiction, which is desire, craving, disappointment, enslavement. That's when you feel stuck, is when you want something and you crave it and you feel unfulfilled for it and you're disappointed and you keep going back to that. And that's a 3-dimension thing. When we actually say, I am all that I am and I'm infinite. So if I just expand my awareness right here in this moment up to trust or empowerment or willingness or acceptance, then those things fall away and they have less and less power over you. Now, I have several courses on how to do more of that, but mostly I just want you to take this and hopefully you got something amazing today. And I hope you'll join me for the Soul Star Awakening class. It starts in a couple of weeks. We've got some beautiful things you can get started with right away. It's 50% off, and we're going to have, what you saw today is when you come live, because after this, it'll be a recorded course for sale. So if you come now, then you'll get to interact with me like this, and we'll share. We'll actually open the lines and everybody will share after we do the class. We have 5 of them. We'll do the awakening, we'll do the activation, then people will share, and then you can ask me questions. I can tell you what I see in your field or whatever. So you get a lot when you come to this for only $150, or you can do it for $85. All right, everybody. I hope you have a beautiful, blessed, and amazing day. September 12th. So that's a 3. What a beautiful number a 3 is. So have fun today with all parts of you, your higher self, your body elemental, your I am presence. Feel that connection of your soul. Take what you felt or learned today and open yourself up to the beauty of who you are, to the purpose of why you're here, to that mission that's ready to culminate or begin, or to see those pieces of your lives coming together right now. That's what's actually happening. And please, please, please stay out of fear. Don't jump into start arguing with people, trying to convince people. Don't get into that fear. If it's fear-based, whether you think you're being the savior, or you're simply in fear, fear is not going to solve it. Fear is going to keep you in what's happening right now. We're creating a new dimension, a new timeline, a new passageway. And I want to gather as many of you as possible so we can anchor into 4D, 5D, and not come back and play in 3D, but not fall in and get sucked in, right? We just go in and we play and we know all the time we're playing, oh, okay, that's just what's happening. And then we go back up to that higher dimension. That's what's possible. That's what we're doing now. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Also, I forgot, maybe I can share that with you. I have a new free series, so please join us for that. It's going to start in a week or 2, and it's at nanakasha.com/BlissLifeGlobalHealing. If you're on my email list, you'll definitely get a notification. I think we just sent it out, and we're going to have a lot of fun talking about soul purpose awakening. So I hope that you have a beautiful day and that you take this. I'm so excited. This has been amazing. I'm going to go for a walk on the beach now, or maybe a swim. Thank you, everybody. You are incredible. And wow, it's been an honor to be in this space. So we're going to give great thanks to the Light Body Healing Council. Oh, we didn't actually meet all of them. So we have Merlin and Gaia. We have Thoth, Kuan Yin, Saint Germain, Isis, and Horus. And Horus really came in, was holding space. The dolphins, the elementals, and Kukulkan, the serpent, the Mayan serpent god, who is always by my side going, shed it, shed it, shed it, shed it, shed it, because I've been here so long working with that energy. So, and thank you to the Infinity Healing Chamber, the Gold Ray, the All-Seeing Eye, Flower of Life, Spherical Consciousness. May this circle be open yet unbroken, and this beauty and clarity of connection to our soul's true purpose go with us in every breath, step, look, touch, and thought. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wonderful. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. This will be up on YouTube soon, and you can watch it again or you can share. And I hope that you come and join me for the Soul Star. Bye. Just check this. Deepshika said, thank you so much for the reading. Look forward to the replay. Thank you, many thanks. Thank you. Big hugs. Same to you guys. Ciao. Bye-bye.